Hello students, we are going to learn chapter 6 today, that is physical and chemical changes. The main objective of this lesson is to read about physical and chemical changes, explanation of physical and chemical change, how physical change occurs everywhere, chemical change occurs everywhere, what is the difference between them. Also, we will give some example of both the changes and characterization of both the changes, chemical as well as physical change. We will also learn about crystallization in this chapter. Student, you know that previously you have learned about reversible and irreversible changes in class 6. Here I am going to give you some example, that is melting of ice. Melting of ice is an example of reversible change, whereas burning of wood is an example of irreversible change. Similarly, here in this class, 7th class, we will not learn about changes in these two categories. We will learn these changes into physical and chemical change category. So, what is the physical change and chemical change? Introduction. What type of changes you know in your surrounding? You can see around you there are so many changes occurs, which is either reversible or not irreversible, or chemical or physical change. On the basis of changes, identify how many types of changes are there. So we will classify these changes into types of changes, and example we will give also in this lesson. Now first come to the physical change. What is physical change? A physical change is alteration, or you can say a physical change alters the form of a substance but does not change it into new or another substance. Means in a physical change, object just in a physical change just object do not loses its original property, just is shape, size or etc. Physical properties changes. What is physical properties? Physical property is color, like color of this pen is red and black. The size is like this much. Shape is round. So the properties which is in appearance, physical appearance, is called physical properties. So change in this type of property, physical properties of a substance, is a physical change. Physical change occurs when object do not loses or changes its original property. In this change, this object, if we change the color of this pen into white or black or green, the pen will remain same, it will not lose its property. So this is one of the most important characteristic of physical change, the change in which object do not loses its original property, and generally these changes are reversible one. So how you will identify a physical change? In a physical change, the substance never changes their identity. Physical change occurs when an object just changes its physical state, color, shape, size, position, etc. Nothing new substance form, no new substance form, nothing changed to its original property, and generally it is reversible. Like some examples given here, crushing of this can. After drinking cold drink, you just crush the bottle. Similarly, cutting of paper, evaporation, cutting of your hair, melting of butter, rubber band, stretching of rubber band or ballooning it is an example of physical change. Now let us study each symptom separately. First, change in state of matter. When object changes from one state to another, that is from solid to liquid or liquid to gas, it is called change in the state. The example is melting. Melting of ice, you can say, melting of ice cream, you can say. Freezing. Freezing means changing liquid into solid. Similarly, water can easily be changed into ice. Vaporization, changing liquid water into vapor. Condensation. Condensation is just a state change of water vapor, changing water vapor into liquid. So all these examples are given here. Change in a state. Here also you can see that ice melted to form water, water melted to form water vapor. So all these examples are change in state. This is a physical change which is reversible. Now second change is change in color. Change in color by us. Here you know that natural change color is chemical change, but when we paint any wall or any drawing sheet or any furniture, grill, gate, etc. into different color, is this type of coloring or painting or change in color is a physical change which is done by us human being. You can easily change the color of an object, like here the pink wall is painted pink. You can also paint it into green, red, yellow, etc. Now the third is making solution. When we add sugar or salt into water, it forms a solution. In this solution, the property of water as well as sugar, the property of water as well as here salt remains the same. So no new substance is formed. So it is a physical change. Change in shape or size. This carpenter is cutting wood to make furniture. This is what? Change in shape and size of this wood. Similarly, shading of paper. Here paper is cut into many pieces. It is also change in size. Here the paper, this plastic plate is broken, so it is change in shape. Here also we can make paper boat by folding paper. This is also change in shape. Breaking of pencil, change in size. So all these changes are physical change because no new substance is formed and all of these wood, paper, pencil do not loses its original property. Similarly, grinding of wheat to wheat flour, cumin to cumin powder is also change in size. Here the property of substance remains the same. Next sign of physical change is change in position. Like here from the jug, orange juice is poured into this glass. Here the position of juice is changed. Similarly, the shape of this glass is like this. So bending is also an example of, here milk do not loses its property. Here juice also do not lose its property, just change in its position. Like this way, when we lift anything like your book, bag, table from one place to another, this is also an example of change in position, which is a physical change. It is here some example of change in nature. Water cycle, erosion, these are the changes occurring in nature, physical change. So, to summarize, what did you understand? In a physical change, no new substance is formed. These changes are reversible or temporary in nature. These substances are, the substance after changes is identical in nature to the substance before the change. Means the substance remains the same. Its property do not loses. Physical change attracts only the physical properties of a substance such as size, shape, state, color, etc. Means there is change in physical property only, nothing new substance form. Changes are reversible in nature and no new substance are formed. Now come to the chemical change. Here are some example of chemical change: burning of crackers, burning of wood, rusting. Similarly, Many other examples are there in nature and our surrounding which explains about chemical change. So what is a chemical change? One or more substances are changed into a new substance. In a chemical change, what happens? One or two, when we mix one or two new substance, like when we mix mm, iron with sulfur, a new substance, iron sulfide, is formed. Similarly, when we add some yeast to the milk, curd is formed. Cooking is also mixing of two or more substances, a new food is present. New food comes out. So when we mix one or more substance, new substances form, new and different properties, and that substance form has entirely different properties from the original one, and it is not identical to the original one. New substance is formed. So what is the definition of chemical change? A change in which composition and chemical properties of substance are changed and new substance is formed is called chemical change. Here are some more examples like burning, already I said, burning of coal, rusting, spoilage of food, digestion of food, burning of leaves, fireworks, etc. Baking of cake. Now, how you will identify a chemical change is going on? First, by seeing color of object. Change in color. Change in color, here we are not talking about painting. Change in color means automatic change in color. Change in color by nature. Change in odor. Second sign of chemical change is change in odor. Evolution or absorption of heat means change in temperature. Production of sound, fizzing sound, foam, bubbles means gas coming out. Production of sound like burning of crackers. Production of light when we burn matchstick or candle or rusting. Means these are the signs by which you can identify a chemical change. Change in color, change in odor, change in heat, temperature, gas coming out, sound evolving, light evolving, or rusting. Let us see some example of first symptom, that is color change. I said earlier that a color change must be